Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the world away and it's a brand new week. And today I'm going to be doing the next 6 stages of the fan home release. I built a fast and furious Nissan Skyline. So if you remember in the last stage, we were doing little bits and pieces. So we had done some of the interior here and we're going to be continuing that today, but we're also going to be adding on to the engine that we created as well. So I do like how this build doesn't just concentrate on one area, adds a bit of variety so it goes to other things as well. But we did get a free gift today as well, and that is this number plate here. Now, I've already got a New York number plate, and what else have I got behind me? A California number plate. Look, I've got a Florida number plate now as well, looking like that. And that is the free gift that we get in this one. Probably going to mount this here, so you might not see this in the background here, because I've already got an Ecto one over here. I'll figure out where I'm going to put it. Perhaps I will put it there. No idea yet. If you want to get this collection for yourself, I have put a link in the video description, and there's also a QR code on the screen. But without further ado, let's get cracking. So here is stage 27, and as I said, we are going to be continuing on with that internal area, which does mean putting that seat in as well. So we've got some belts here and some screws. What we're going to be doing is putting the belts into place, mounting the seat, threading the belts through the back here, and then putting them into place just like that. So that's how it's going to look. So here is stage 27, the belts and the screws. Bring over the floor pan with the seats in. And then I want to make sure I put this around the right way so that we've got these decals here facing up, just like that. So that's looking good. Now we have got some lugs just onto the interior floor here, which I'm going to be pushing these into. So I'm going to be pushing one in this side, just like that. Before I put the right one in, I do want to put the seat in, just loosely. We're not actually putting it in now, so that I can put the seat belt over that section, as you can see. Then I can push this into the tab on this side. Just makes it a bit easier if you haven't attached the seat, you see. And there we go. That's the seat belt in place. Then with these back sections, they're going to thread through the holes at the back here. One. It's like needlework, this is, making sure everything's not tangled and in place. Okay, that's looking good. And then what I want to do is just bring the seat slightly up, because I'm going to attach these to the pegs just at the bottom at the back here. So there you go, they're both in. And that is the seat belts in place there. All that's left to do then is to attach these screws, or attach the chair with these screws. And then once again, in true World of Wayne fashion, for some strange, bizarre reason, I keep referring to it as a chair. But it's a seat. I'm going to be putting the seat in place. So 4 screws here to get this in. Perfect. And with that in place, that's all there is to do in that stage. So in stage 28, here's the magazine. And we're going to be doing a roll cage now. We've got the roll cage here and some screws. And this is just a simple stage, putting this onto the floor pan here and then screwing this in from the underside. So it's looking like that. Nice quick stage. Now you may be thinking, oh look, there's going to be hardly anything to do in this pack. You couldn't be more mistaken. I've already looked forward in this pack. And we are doing the cooling system of the engine, which means a lot of piping, a lot of pulleys. There's a hell of a lot to do, to be honest with you. So it is hard to see how this roll cage is going to go in. But if you have a look on the back, you do have these notches. You want them to point towards the back. So this end's going to be towards the front of the vehicle. This is just going to be going into the holes that we can just see at the back here and here. So I'm just putting that in now, like this. And it's going to be screwed in with the LP screws that we get in this pack from the underside. So again, it's a case of turning it over and screwing these in. I'm going to use my bigger screwdriver for this. This is the second one going in. Perfect. And with that in place, that's all there is to do in that stage. Now, we're not going to need this part now because we are going to be working on the engine. Okay, in stage 29, here we go. We're going to be doing the engine. Now, there is a lot to do in this. So, as you can see here, we have got the gearbox, so we're going to be doing that first. Assembling the gearbox onto the engine, so that looks just like this. So a lot bigger box, this one. Let's get this open. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to be taking this part of the gearbox. This is plastic, by the way, just so you know. I'm surprised I thought that was going to be metal. We do have a keyhole pattern here for the starter motor. So this is going to dictate which way around the starter motor goes, just like that. And it's held in with an AP screw. And there we go. That's in place like that. Bring the engine over. And on this side here, as you can see, we've got two lugs. I'm going to put these into place, just like this. It's going to slot this area here in the gap at the bottom as well. So that fits in nice and flush there. We're going to need some AIM screws. AIM screws, these are flange screws. This time we are going into metal, so a little bit of oil. Get this in. One there. One here. Then if you look on the top camera, we've got two holes here and they will have EP screws in them. And we need two of these. Now what I've done, I'm doing this slightly out of order. I'm putting the top of the gearbox into place. We do have to put the drive shaft in, but I found it easier to put the top on. And then before we close this side, just gently put this end in here, just like that. It's the easiest way to keep that in. So that looks like that there. Okay, we're going to be holding this into place with EP screws through the top. So we're going to need a few of these. As a matter of fact, it's actually 5 of these we need to put in to tighten this up. So I'm going to get all of these in place. I've then got this panel to put on, which is going to be for the differential here. It's going to go onto the side of these lugs just like that there. And it's held in with one SM screw into the hole just here. And once that's in place, it enables me to put the other end of the differential on. Just like this. Once again, it's going to be held in with an SM screw in this hole here, and through the centre here, we're going to have an AM screw. So I'll put the AM screw in first. And then the SM screw in just here. Now in the engine block, probably best on top camera, we've got a hole just there, just behind the dipstick. We want the curved end to be going into that hole. Just like that. I did have a pipe fall off here, so I'm just putting that back in just for a minute to hold that in. That was that silver pipe's just fallen off from there. And then the last thing to put in is this left front bearing output housing, which is going to go into the hole just there, held in with an AM screw. So I've got that here, and get that in nice and tight. And with that in place, that is all there is to do in that stage. Okay, so in stage 30, here's the magazine. We're now going to be working on the pulley system, and look how many parts there are into this system. God. So we're going to be putting all of these pulleys into place and putting the belt on. So by the end of it, it's going to look like this, including the cooling fan there. So here are all the parts here. I think I'm going to keep them in the packaging. Otherwise, I think I'm going to get confused. Now, these pulleys can be a little bit difficult to sort out, so I'm going to hopefully help you here. We've got 2 pulleys here, which are labelled number 1 and number 2. It's the one that's labelled with a number 2 that we need first. That's going to slip over this pulley disc here. As you can see, it's going to make one little drive there. That's just going to push into the hole on this section just here, like that. That was an easy one. But then we're going to make a bigger one now. So we've got this one here, larger one, with a bigger, larger sort of centre. And then finally this piece here where we want the indent to be on the inside. All of this is going to go onto the main spindle here. So I'll put that one on, and that one on. And it's going to be held in with a QM screw. Now I've already loaded a QM screw into this. So it's just a case of screwing this in. QM screws are very tiny. Get that screwed in. And then the last things I need are 30M and 30N and 30M, N and M, put them together to make a pulley. Then I need these two here, which are the same size, which are also going to make another pulley here. Going to put them in place. So firstly, the one with the large washer is going to go onto this spindle just here, just like that. The bigger one that we created here is just going to be going underneath it on the alternator here. Perfect. And then lastly, this smaller one that I've got here, which looks like that, is going to go on the bracket that you can just see at the bottom there. And then finally, we've got a silver pulley here. Put that one together. That's the last two pieces looking like that. And that's just going to go on the other side here. Actually, one of these is the water pump. I believe this one is the alternator. So I don't know. I get confused with these two. Once they're in place, I'm now ready to put the belts on. And first of all, we've got a smaller belt here, which is going to be going around these three sections here. Probably best on the top camera. So one on here, one around the big one on the inside. And then the other side of this is going towards what I believe to be the alternator over that side there. Make sure they're on the inner track of that center ring. And then the other one's just going to go around the outer track of that center ring and then round the other three pulleys. So this is the larger of the belts. Oh, my thing's falling out again. I may end up just gluing that in, but I don't know what direction it's going to go in yet. So that looks like that. And then the last thing to do is take the fan here, just push that onto the end of the spindle we've got there. So that's in place like that. That's all there is to do in that stage. So, you thought that was hard? Stage 31. Here's the magazine. We have got, actually stage 31 doesn't look too bad. Injectors and fuel lines. No, it does. Look, we've got piping to do. And we've got little plugs. This is going to be fun. So I'm going to be putting these plugs into place here. I've got another pipe to put on. I've got two lengths of these pipes that we're actually going to start linking these in. Definitely going to need my magnifying glasses for this. So at the end, it's looking just like this. We do have some parts that we haven't used. Okay, so let's get this open. I can see this being a really fiddly one. So first things first, I've got this little adapter and a pipe, and I just want to push this pipe into the adapter looking like that. Now, I'm not quite sure about what direction this pipe's going in yet, so I can keep turning this around, but I do need to mount this to the engine. This is going into the hole that you can see just behind the fan there. Perfect. So that's what that looks like when that's in. So I've got these injectors to put in now. This is going to be fun. I want to put them into these points just here. So what I'm going to do is hold them in tweezers. Got my glasses on. Get these pushed in. So one there. I've got them going in that direction. I don't know if that's right, but that's the direction I'm putting them in. I'm going to put the rest of them in all the holes that we got here. Now, I'm sure someone told me it's better to put the pipes in first and then put the injectors in. I can probably understand that. But you know me, I like to make things hard for myself. So I'm putting them in this way and we'll see how we get on. So what we've got is long pipes and short pipes. It's the short pipe that I need first. And one end of this short pipe is going onto this red point just over here. Point just there. Because that one's going to go into the one nearest to the engine. There we go. That's the first one in. Now I want to repeat that for all the rest of them. They're going into these red sockets at the bottom. And then the one at the top looking just like that. So let me get all of these completed. Well, there you go. That's all of that top lot in. That was fun. Okay, now we've got the bigger pipes and they're just going to go into the blue injectors at the top. And then the other side's just going to go onto the other side of that Y-shaped plug, which has now got a spare nipple on it like that. Once again, I'll continue that all the way down the run here. Yeah, if this was Dungeons and Dragons, you'd be required a dexterity check roll on this bit, because this was quite fiddly. There you go. But they're all in place like that. It does look good though when it's done. Excellent. Now, everything else that we've got in the box here isn't used, because that is the end of the stage. So in the last stage, stage 32, here's the magazine. Now this is going to be a simpler stage, I believe, because what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing the radiator and firewall. So we've got these parts here. We are going to be creating what we had of the radiator from the last stage, putting that together like this, and then we're just adding some parts to the firewall there. So before I open the new pack, let's just get out all the parts from the old pack here. I want to be putting these two parts of the radiator together, so they can only go in one way because the holes need to align. So they're in just like that. Then on top of those sections, I've got the fan surround, which is just going over the holes there, and they're held in with AP screws. So one in there. One in the other side. Perfect. And then I can turn this around. On the top here, I've got this rail to put in. It's going to go in this way, so that those two holes align at the top there. They're held in with LP screws. So one in there, one in that side. So that's looking like that. I've then got a cap and a collar for that cap. So I need to push these through. These are D-shaped patterns, so they can only go in one way. So that collar has got a nipple on it, you see. And then this whole thing's going to go into the top of this section, into the D-shaped hole you can see just there. And then on the side of that nipple, I've got a pipe here, which I'm just going to be putting into place, just like that. So that's the radiator completed there. I just then want to open this pack up, because I haven't done that yet. This is the firewall here, and this part here has got a keyhole pattern on it. This is the wiper motor I'm putting in here, so I'm just going to be lining that with that hole here. Perfect. That's going to be held in with an AP screw just from the other side. So that's what that should look like when it's in place. Now we do have two parts left over, which are brake pipe mounts, so we need to keep them safe. But that's all there is to do in that stage. That's all there is to do in that pack. So just reviewing, we've done this amazing engine here. We've expanded onto the gearbox and put all of those pipes in. And we've also put the driver's seat in with the seat belts. And there you go, that's another 6 stages done. Until next month, I really do hope you like that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, take care.